Hey, David Ignatius, we've been talking about Iran. We didn't talk about Iran shooting down a U.S. drone. Let's get into that. What can you tell us?
So overnight there was a report from the Gulf, from CENTCOM, denying the Iranian claim that they had shot down a U.S. drone that was over Iranian airspace. This is one of those situations where really the fog of war, it's hard to know without independent corroboration exactly what happened. But I think this is a sign of just how much military equipment is in the air, at sea, in situations where miscalculation is so easy. I just would underline the point that I was making earlier. The evidence is growing that Iran wants to take more militant action to push its way out of this box of economic sanctions that are really hurting the Iranian economy. They're kind of looking for a fight, thinking that they can keep it a restrained, low-level fight. They've been shooting missiles into Saudi Arabia. They attacked a civilian airport recently. There are these disputed attacks on tankers. You should see the drone attack in that context, but the U.S. is saying there was no drone over Iran. They're denying the particulars of the Iranian claim.
So, Jonathan Lemire, I'm fascinated by the relationship, the give and take between Donald Trump and John Bolton. John Bolton has been wanting to attack Iran, launch a war against Iran for a very long time. Donald Trump, of course, doesn't. Told Sean Hannity last night, don't worry, be happy, everything's going to be great. How is that shaking out? Who's winning that battle? Is John Bolton just playing bad cop to Donald Trump's good cop?
First of all, Donald Trump's instruction to us to not worry and to be happy wasn't just about Iran, it's about North Korea and Russia, too. It was basically broad strokes foreign policy that everyone should just take it easy. In terms of Iran, we know Bolton has been a hawk there for as long as he's been a public figure. The president certainly is willing to ratchet up some of the rhetorical pressure, but he has said time and time again, including last night, he doesn't want there to be an escalation of actual conflict there. He doesn't want to put boots on the ground. He doesn't want there to be some sort of military conflict. And I think that to this point, he's actually playing the sort of unexpected role of keeping Bolton at bay. Though events in that region are now spiraling to the point where, as David just said, there is this sort of growing fog of war and this concern that something could set off. And therefore, even if the president doesn't want there to be an escalation, there may be something, violence happens anyway.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.